What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking. Unfortunately, our beloved Chicago Bulls taking L. 128-124 to the Sacramento Kings, a game that really they were in the entire way. And in my opinion, you got to come away with. You got to be able to extend it. I am your boy, Pat, the designer. I am joined by the Brody AD. And, of course, P.Kidd coming all the way from Indiana. I pointed the wrong way. There you go. P.Kidd coming all the way from Indiana. Kid, how you feeling, my boy?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I get to brag about how the Kings beat the Bulls.
I don't know.
I'm totally joking. I'm totally joking.
I was gonna say I don't know how you can brag about that. Man, what'd you see tonight that this Bulls team helped them come up short, essentially?
Fell in love with the three. I think Zach took some really costly threes down the stretch. Some of it was a little uncharacteristic. I think he got a little trigger happy from last night. You know, a win like that and the fashion that he did, it would make you feel overly confident within that shot. But he just didn't have it clicking tonight. It just wasn't clicking at all. And the reason that
what?
Matt Nagy in the chat. I just got fired.
What's the game plan Sunday, bro?
Oh, man, listen, I'm sorry. That threw me off. I wasn't expecting that. No, but outside of that, and it's funny because he actually shot good from the field.
Yeah.
He was 12 for 22.
Just pour from three. And listen, but you know what? We could say that about his shot a lot. It's not like that's not a shot Zach doesn't take all the time. It's not like that's not a shot Zach doesn't hit. No, I think that the timing of it, I think I would have liked him to set up the offense more there because I believe he took that shot with 19 seconds on the shot clock still. I don't like that. But it's a shot that Zach takes. And we've seen him more times than not knock that down. Now, like you said, it wasn't going down tonight. I have to put the blame of this game on our front court. I mean,
that's true.
I don't care if you had Daniel Gafford out there. I don't care if you had, although Gafford wasn't out there a lot. I don't care about Thad Young. I don't care about Wendell Carter. 11 and 17 for Wendell Carter. The stats look great. You know what stats don't look great, though? Marvin Bagley, 21 and 12. Harrison Barnes, 20 points.
Yeah, they're getting out. They got
five assists at half.
Rashawn Holmes missed one shot tonight. 24 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists on 10 of 11 shooting, 4 for 5 from the free throw line.
Who was sticking
that? What are y'all doing in the paint? I'm sorry. Listen, Buddy Hield hits a big shot at the end. Buddy Hield had 10 points tonight. The one thing we said coming into this game was you had to shut down Buddy Hield. Zach LaVine and Coby White did a good job of keeping Buddy Hield in check. We can look at this game as a whole and say, oh, this guy failed here, this guy failed here. I don't like that last second shot by Zach. And those things can be true also. Like I said, I think that last second shot by Zach was probably a poorly timed shot, but I can't say it's not a shot we haven't seen Zach knock down. Heck, we just saw him knock it down last night. I got to look at this front. I got to look at our front court issues and say that led to the failure that the Chicago Bulls have faced tonight.
I mean, he got
Well, let's do it.
We were in it. The last 2 minutes looked really good. It's just like we kind of they made. I don't know whether it was a calculated decision to leave the hot hand in Coby White to try to get Zach started, or which would be a little late. Or it's just Coby White deferred to Zach. It's got to be one of the two.
I mean, listen, Kobe's going to defer to Zach. Zach is the leader of this team. Zach is the guy who wants those shots down the stretch. Zach is the guy who wants to take those big shots. We know Zach is that guy. But here's the thing. Zach also has to be that guy that when Halliburton's fading away on the three-point line, you can't leave him. There's pros and cons to it. Listen, you can be that guy. You can be that guy who wants the big shots, who wants the accolades, but then you get nights like this, and we're going to talk about you. And I think Zach deserves his share of the blame. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve his share of the blame. That whole last drive,
it's really one shot.
Last minute and 15 was really bad basketball.
That one shot where we could have taken the lead either with a 2 or a 3, coming down and shooting that very quick 3 was the absolute wrong decision.
Well, here's the thing. That last minute and 15 from Zach was bad, both offensively and defensively. To me.
I think his last 4 minutes were bad. I'm gonna tell you why. Within that last 4-minute stretch, it wasn't just one untimely shot. It was a string of them.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, we saw the difference we saw between him and Coby White was we saw Coby attacking the basket.
Yeah.
And so even still with the Coby attacking the basket, he still shot better from 3 than Zach was. He had it going.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be taking shots away from him. Clearly, he had 30. What do you have? 34, 35? Let me get the box score up. He had 36 points. Yeah, he had 36 points.
Coby White had 36 tonight, yeah.
36, and he was cooking those last few minutes. You roll with your hot hand, right? And as far as our bigs and stuff like that, yeah, we could talk about that. But here's the interesting part about that. Here's some interesting stats about today's game. We shot better from the field than Kings, marginally, but we did.
Yeah.
We were competitive at the 3. We shot better at the free throw line. We out-rebounded them. We were competitive on assists. Now, when I say we out-rebounded them, at one point, we were getting killed on the offensive boards. Now they were the margin's only 2.
Right.
And we killed them on the defensive boards. The areas that we really got picked apart on were the turnovers.
Per usual.
And the fouls.
Per usual.
The turnovers and the fouls. And that was clear.
Now I will say, lot of questionable calls down the stretch there.
A lot of questionable calls.
Questionable calls. Like Holmes got to the line a lot on some stuff where I'm like, bro, did somebody breathe on him? Like, y'all treating this man like LeBron. Meanwhile, Coby White can't get a foul at the other end.
Yeah.
But to me, and your points are valid. I agree. I can't take it away from Zach because Zach wants to be that guy who's the number one.
Right.
When Coby missed them shots, we used to kill Coby too, but we would say he would take them shots because he can make them shots. But when you miss them shots, it's a bad shot. When you make them shots, it's a great shot. So I can deal with the Zach shooting. I think there's some problems there that Billy definitely needs to address, that Billy definitely needs to look at, especially when they get in the film room, more so on the defensive end than anything to me with Zach tonight. Because, I mean, listen, even on a bad night from the three-point line, Zach LaVine still put up 32 points. So he's still a focus of your offensive game. Now, was the shot poor at the end? Yeah, I'll give you that. But, bro, I'm sorry. You had 3 front court players who are – listen, come on. Marvin Bagley has been a scrub this season. I'm not saying he is one, but this season he has been a scrub. And he was dog walking Wendell. He was dog walking Wendell on the defensive end, bro.
I'll say Wendell had moments. We had moments when he finally –
Wendell on the boards was getting it in. But offensively, Wendell did nothing. 11 points. All right, it looks nice.
He's still timid.
But on the other end, he's got both hands up. He's jumping straight up in the air. And Marvin Bagley is dog walking. Thad Young getting hooped up by Rashawn Holmes. Rashawn Holmes, be honest with me. Did you know who that was before tonight?
Not at all. Shout out to Holmes.
Did you know who that was before tonight?
He made me know you. You made me know you tonight.
I'm going to let you know one thing, though. The Kings, just like we've praised Chicago for the last couple of days, the Kings have some really balanced scoring. Like, if you look at that, I didn't know who Rashawn Holmes was. I didn't know who I didn't really give Halliburton that much credit either until, he kind of showed out today. But if you look at this stat line, 24, 21, 20, 10, 12, 14, 17, their team put up numbers.
Yeah.
They put up a lot of numbers. But guess what? Normally, for the last couple of games, we're used to 7 people putting up double digits. We only had 5. Now, that's saying a lot, right? It's like, realistically, how often can you do that? Well, we've been averaging that this entire season.
It's different double digits, too, that we got today.
Oh, yeah. It definitely is.
We've been seeing 17 from Otto, Garrett Temple with 15, Denzel Valentine with 10. Tonight, we saw struggling shooters all around.
Ironically, Denzel Valentine has 10.
Hey. and here's the thing, though. Ironically, listen, this is the kind of game that you get in a back-to-back when you had to claw your way into the game the night before. Your stars are still going to be stars. Coby White, Zach LaVine proved that they can step up. They can get that job done. Garrett Temple looked 2 steps slow tonight instead of 1. Thad Young looked like he didn't have it defensively tonight. I would have liked to see more of Gafford. I think Gafford's just too undersized, really, to play against Bagley. But Wendell looked like, I mean, yes, he had the rebounding numbers, but he just looked like he was tired on all of his shots. His floaters were short, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the team looked tired. Otto Porter looked dead.
No, the shots were short.
All game. All game, the shots were short. And so a part of this is absolutely that it was a back-to-back on a game where you clawed your way back in, you had to fight your way back in, and you're exhausted. But at the same time, you had an opportunity to win this game. You got 36 and 32 from Zach LaVine, and you wasted it. And listen, it don't get easier from here.
No. And I will say this. This is one of this to me was the first welcome to the majors for Pat Williams because he got into foul trouble really, really early.
Real early.
Yeah.
Really early. In fact, he's the only person outside of Holmes that has 5 fouls.
Yeah.
But he got his early. And so it's not just about what you can do when you're on the floor, it's about making sure that you're putting yourself in position to stay on the floor. And so he it really showed today because realistically, he was 3 for 6, 1 from 2 from 3. He was on his way to having a pretty decent game. 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, but he had very limited minutes. The rest of the minutes were at times where you knew he wasn't getting the rock because Coby and Zach were already cooking. So at this point, he couldn't really put his imprint on the game. But I would love to see what that looks like. This is the first time we've seen Coby and Zach both take nearly 25 shots in a game. So we haven't seen that all. Well, I can't say all season. Well, yeah, first 10 games, first 8, 9 games. So it's uncharacteristic for the type of team that we've seen. Yet we do know we have some guys that can get it done, and it just kind of fell short. But decision making down the line is really what it came to because we outperformed them in several key categories.
Yeah,
so it's decision making and making sure that we, I don't want to give the back-to-back too much credit because there's going to be plenty of these.
Well, I think listen. It's a different season this season, and there are going to be plenty of these. The NBA kind of killed off a lot of the back-to-backs, and especially the 3. What did it used to be like 3 years ago? It was like 3 games or in 4 nights or something like that.
Or was it? Yeah, something like that.
It was 3 games or 4 nights.
The NBA has really done a good job of kind of spacing these out. So I'm gonna give I'm not saying that it's the reason they lost tonight. I'm saying it's the reason that I think some of the guys who aren't Coby White and Zach LaVine played more poorly. So especially a Garrett Temple or Thad Young, guys who are not old, but they got that old man game. But here's the big thing for me.
Thad Young actually played pretty good.
Defensively, though, Thad was just not there.
I was going to say
defensively, Thad was just not there.
Offensively, he's 80% from field.
It just seemed like whenever, to me,
8 points, 4 for 5.
He don't know whether to play the 4. Like it's like you could tell he a 4 trying to play the 5 when they had that lineup.
Well, and that's the thing because they're trying to put him out there to help Wendell. But Wendell's putting them in such bad positions defensively. I mean, I'm no expert. I'll never say I'm an NBA expert, but I've never seen somebody get deeper in the paint before the ball is down there than Wendell. He's so deep in the paint every night. Maybe I'm not seeing it right. Maybe I'm tweaking, but he's so deep in the paint that especially against Marvin Bagley's 7'2"? 7'3"? How tall is Bagley? Let me get our height on Bagley real quick.
That's what they're from?
6'11".
6'11"? Really?
They got him listed as 6'11".
Good Lord, that man he made Wendell look like a child. And he made Gafford look like a child too. There's a reason Gafford didn't get in this game. Gafford 6'9" just couldn't do it. Normally he's able to overcome. Normally he's able to get that. His energy will do it. 6'9" to 6'9".
Hey, here's the thing though. Wendell was 6'10". He ain't even. We're talking about people who have 1 or 2 inch difference between them. This guy's a forward. Wendell ain't no center. Like he ain't no center.
He's definitely. I agree that he's a 4. I think that he needs to play the 4. I think we need to try him out at the 4. But to me, the biggest thing is that there's no one on this lineup that could slow down Rashawn Holmes. Bro, I didn't even know who my man's was.
Yo, you know what? The reason why we can't
Let me see his stats on the season.
Yo,
this man averages 11 points a game he do shoot at 64%. He mad efficient.
Mm-hmm.
He mad efficient. I give him that. Okay, all right. 24 is a lot, bro.
The reason why I am really not so surprised by the way that he showed up was because they had really good ball movement and really good point guard play. Halliburton really kind of showed out with the minutes that he was getting. He really did. So I mean, for real, he made good use of the 35 minutes he had and the dimes that he was getting to set up those players. I mean, it was something else. And then Harrison Barnes coming out of nowhere, setting up players too. On top of going 7 from 10 for the field, they were putting him in positions where it was hard for him to miss. If you get what I'm saying, they were the drive and the kick, the way they would do the down screen with them and stuff like that. It was just getting him in the right spot. He had a nice little floater. It's nothing you can really do about that. Honestly, especially the way the defense was set up. So you gotta. Oof. I know one thing. If I saw one more floater out of him, though, I was gonna flip a chair.
Bro. I was just confused, bro.
What the heck is he doing?
I'm literally just sitting there the entire live, just like, bro, somebody stop this man. But
I don't know what it was. Was it the defensive rotation or was it more of a?
It was the rotation. It was a rotation. A couple of
rotation in gen. I'm gonna be real with you. There's something different about this team I don't want to beat up on Wendell, but you screamed it all night. Wendell and Thad Young, honestly, it's not really just Wendell, but you screamed it all night. Why are y'all just standing there?
Yeah,
there were moments where they're just standing around and there's no spacing, offensively or defensively.
It looked like at times they were trying to double or try to have help on Bagley. And I felt like they knew that they were getting beat down there, which is why Holmes was so wide open. Because if you look at some of those plays, he's coming up to set the pick for Halliburton. Yeah. Halliburton, all he's doing is drawing the waiting for the switch and then dumping it down. And if you look at all those plays where he hits that floater, Bagley is literally right under the rim.
Yeah.
And so they're more concerned about Bagley than they were him. And realistically, you would have been too, because like you said, who is this guy? Right? And so it looked real good for him. It was a good look for him. It was bad for us, but it was a good look for him. And all we do is take this back to the film room, like some people said in the chat.
Yeah.
Gameplay. And Billy gonna let him have it. Oh, especially.
And I'll tell you exactly why. Because it was simple stuff. It was don't leave your man open down the stretch.
Yeah, and
it was literally. Listen, grade school stuff. Don't leave your man open down the stretch. He might make a shot.
And don't take the team as a collective out of their game. Like literally, Zach with some of his shot selection took the momentum away that they had worked to gain. So it's almost like, okay, cool. We're doing. Billy Donovan did the right thing by making the conscious decision to give Zach rest in the third quarter, going into the fourth. Fine and good. Coby had us rolling, like we was really moving.
You can't say us. Coby was rolling. And that's the thing. I think that's the thing that Zach probably is going to have to learn that you have help now. You got to think he's never had help, and sometimes you got to tell him that. Hey, the greats have to be told that. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan had to be told that. Kobe Bryant had to be told that. Because they're so used to, this is my team. Give me the ball. I'm going to do what I do because I'm going to get this job done.
Right.
I guarantee you Billy goes in there and he's like, look at what Coby did. Look at what Coby did. You got help. You've got help. Use it.
Right. Hey, man, you should. It's just, like I said, we really, the Bulls played out of some of Zach's missteps coming in.
Yeah.
But that, like I said, that one shot before Halliburton's fadeaway three from the corner was what took us out of it. What took the Bulls out of it. So, like I said, if you get a 2 instead of the quick 3, it's fine. Like,
well, yeah, because Zach, and here's the thing: we want to talk about Zach. We want to say that bad shot, and you can say all those things. I'm not saying you can't, but then he comes down and drains that same shot on the other side of the court to make it a 3-point game again. The miscue on that is when he comes back down at the other end, he plays no defense on Halliburton. You know what I'm saying? It's the give and take. Those are the things that he needs to shore up. Zach has played much better defense this season.
Definitely.
I think we all can say that. Zach has taken on the challenge of taking on your number one player and saying, hey, look, I'm trying to get in your face. I'm trying to make this thing hard for you. And he's done a better job of it. But there's still miscues. There's still those mistakes or the things down the stretch. And listen, y'all, we 7 games in. Or what is it now? No, we 9 games in. We're 9 games in.
Yeah.
We're going to say this every post-game show. This is a developing team. This is a team that, you know what we hope for in the next 3 games? They compete.
But you know what, though? Developing, yeah. But once you show that you have the potential, you can't use that as an excuse anymore. What I mean by that is this game, even without the bad shots, was a winnable game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If we eliminated at least 2 turnovers and made 1 extra free throw.
Well,
right?
This one's a bad loss. This game
it's a bad loss. It's a bad loss. But I even think that the next 3 games are not going to be blowouts. Like, I don't think we're going to beat the Lakers just because, not even just the LeBron factor, but we can't compete with their bigs. If we had a problem with Bagley, you ain't doing nothing with AD. You ain't doing nothing with
is getting busy on you. AD about to have 90.
AD about to get busy, right? And then on top of that, they got a nice bench too. Marcus All, they got real bigs.
Yeah,
we don't have big body bigs, so we all they're gonna do is dump it down low and dominate there, and they should easy win, right? I honestly think we could beat the Clippers though. I think we can beat the Clippers.
Here's the thing.
I think we can beat the Clippers. I think we match up with Boston.
We're going to be up and down all season. We're going to be back and forth all season. That's what I'm telling Bulls fans. This is an evaluation year. This is a year of growth. This is a year of Billy Donovan trying to instill a system mid-season, and there's going to be some ugly moments. This was an ugly moment. This is mad ugly. You should have, in all honesty, bro, we should have dominated.
Dominated?
We should
dominate is a stretch. Because the Kings have put up some real good numbers against some great teams.
Let me tell you why. De'Aaron Fox goes out 5 minutes into the game.
That's a fact.
Halliburton steps in. He plays a great game. Heck of a game from the kid. He's showing you that he has some talent, right? Wow. He does his thing. He gets busy. Marvin Bagley has been terrible. I don't know what Wendell told that man before he got here, but he shouldn't have said it. It's been terrible. He was benched in the last game.
No, that's what I said.
He has been terrible. So literally, you're coming into this game with 2 of your guys literally not being in. Halliburton dropped 17 on your head. That's 17 though. It's 17. The problems are Holmes. Harrison Barnes kind of a problem, but Pat Will got into foul trouble early. That's the guy who you probably got guarding Harrison Barnes. Thad Young can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're throwing Thad Young out there he's got that. He's not a small forward. He can't do it. Harrison Barnes is going by him. Like, to me, this is a game that you should have been able to win fairly easily, especially if Zach and Coby are going off.
Yeah,
I don't need the rest of the team to drop 30. I need y'all to make layups.
Yeah, everybody needs to take advantage of their
I
opportunity.
need y'all, like you said all season so far. I need you to make decisions. We've seen how many times have we seen the ball kicked out to Thad Young for a corner three and he just look at it for a second?
Yeah.
Hey, what you looking at? Shoot.
Yeah, we do be screaming. Shoot the ball.
We
shoot the ball. Pass up shot too.
And you ever see a comment and you be like, I wonder if that's true, but I know that this is a
which one?
That wife is hot. I ever see a comment and you be like, is that true? Like
I got her on Twitter, but I never looked it up. I never looked at the AVI. I got her on Twitter because she be tweeting it like reporters and stuff. It'd be hilarious.
Oh man, that'd be crazy.
The other guy we got to look at tonight is somebody who we've given a lot of praise for playing well tonight. Otto Porter played horrible. 1 for 8. 3 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Horrible. And to me, those are the guys that you need to step up. And I think, listen,
we need Otto to step up, do something.
What we're also forgetting is this is a wounded Bulls team right now. Otto shouldn't be in this starting lineup.
Oh no, he definitely shouldn't.
Starting lineup, Otto is not that dude.
He definitely shouldn't.
Bench Otto is a problem. But starting lineup, Otto is not that dude. So while we should have won this game, let's look ahead to this Lakers game that we do have on Friday, 9:00 start for that. We'll be live for that as well.
The Lake Show.
The Lake Show. You got Brian. You got AD.
Coming through. I'm gonna be in the studio.
Oh, we got Kidd in the stew.
I'm be in the stew.
Mad energy.
Let's go.
Lakers 6-2 right now. Getting the job done early in the season. You know what that team's going to bring. They're bringing that championship pedigree. They're dealing with a few injuries as well. KCP down with an ankle. Anthony Davis having some issues with a thigh. And so you might catch a couple of breaks.
Are we going to get any help?
LeBron might not play.
That's what I say.
And listen, the West Coast trip is one that always the Bulls have always done terrible.
You know who we really got to watch out for though is Kyle Kuzma.
All right.
Nah. Hey, you know what kid I'm actually gonna look out for though? Talon. No, he got go. Hey, he can hoop. I ain't gonna lie, he can hoop. And if they give him the green light, he gonna fill it up. I mean, come on now. What's more to say that against the team that you feel like should have drafted you but didn't draft you?
Yeah.
Hey, I feel like that's what happened.
The old boy from the player that Simeon played with the Lakers, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
What you talking about? What's his Talon
Horton something?
Oh, okay, that's his name. I was like, what's his last name?
I think the Bulls are kind of figuring out what pieces work and what pieces don't. And slowly we're seeing guys who weren't getting minutes get more minutes. Slowly we're seeing the Denzel, or not Denzel, the Daniel Gafford minutes creep up as the Wendell minutes are kind of coming to an even keel. I think this team is still moving in the right direction. And listen, these are the games where you want to see where you're at. A loss tonight is tough, but you know what? Off of a back-to-back, Coby White gets his career high. All right, we got some good things we can take into this next game. Let's look at the mistakes. Let's fix them. Right. Let's get out of here. Cut the turnovers down is probably the biggest thing because I think they've somewhat gotten their free throws under control. But coming into this Lakers game, the Clippers game, the Celtics game, let's see how we match up against the best in the league.
I'm waiting for that Coby White Pat Will matchup. Pat Beverly, because Pat Beverly put the clamps on Steph tonight. So I want to see how that looks. I want to see how it goes.
Pat Beverly be taking. Hey, somebody said, I ain't gonna lie to you. The best comment I said was Pat Beverly got y'all believing he played defense. That man don't do nothing but run up the court and bend over. And if you watch his game, he do it so often, it'd be like, why did he just bend over right there, bro?
Hey, But he held Steph to 13, and Steph been on a tear. And so, like you said, we know it's the development year. We get all that stuff. We do want to see how we compete. I want to see how Coby White handles that pressure in the starting role, going against Bulldogs like that who got something to prove. I want to see what it look like. I want to see what it look like. Now, on the other end, I'm expecting Zach to take Paul George, the distance, but we ain't got no answer for
Kawhi Leonard.
We gonna
hey, bro. I'm just hoping.
Wrap that up.
I'm hoping Pat Will walks in and he just sees Kawhi Leonard, and then Kawhi Leonard just take like the microchip out and just put it in his back. Then they just point at each other like Spider-Man memes.
It's gonna be like the old Terminator versus the liquid Terminator.
If Pat really does hold Kawhi to under 20 points, dog, I think
what's wild? This is what's wild about Pat Will. Tonight was a rougher night. Pat, I've never really seen Pat Will in the wrong defensive position. I've seen him not be strong enough to hold that defensive position. To me, that's the difference in this game. Because I've seen him move quick enough to get to the right spot, and then the dude that's coming to the spot is like Giannis.
I mean, honestly,
they just get bumped out the way. He's just like, "Oh Jesus, how did I get over here?"
Welcome to the league.
We won't really know who handled what in the defense, like in a really one-on-one situation, because the Bulls are going to be in that 2-3 zone anyway. So it's like whoever come in your section is who you're going to have to deal with. Offensively, we'll see how the Lakers respond to whatever the Bulls come through if the Bulls execute.
Kawhi's getting the ball on the block, left-hand side. You're going to see it all night.
Yeah.
You're going to see it all night.
It's going to be a problem. It's definitely – and listen, here's the thing. The fact that we got a big win, the fact that we are competing in this West Coast trip, the Bulls don't do well on these trips. Going back to Jordan coming to the West Coast on when it was the circus trip, didn't do well. Like I think we all – legitimately, I think we all – I don't remember the last time we beat the Kings in Sacramento. I'm not even going to stunt with you. We lose to them so often.
I'm pretty sure it was during the Derrick Rose era.
We lost to them a lot during the Derrick Rose era.
I thought D. Rose used to put them in the
No, because doggone Boogie Cousins was still there during the Derrick Rose era.
Oh, wow. Now, he didn't have some he didn't almost got yammed on a couple times, but
it's for some reason, I don't know what it is. It's these West Coast trips, man. The Bulls don't do as well on them. I don't know if it's the travel. I don't know what it is, but it's always been an issue for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, man.
And this one's even weirder because it's like you come back to Boston and then you head out to Houston again. It's a weird one, but
what's the game?
What did he say?
I don't know. He froze. Kid, you still there?
Yo.
Down goes P.Kidd. Did we freeze too, or is it just Kidd?
Well,
Kidd must have lost internet. Hopefully he ain't lose power, man.
No. I'm sorry. Yo.
But
no, I think we still.
All right. Wow. Now we're killing it. Let's go.
Very much so.
Hey, somebody said Kidd shook about Boston. Yeah, we lost Kidd in the chat.
Yeah, we just saw. Yeah,
he talked about Boston and he went down.
Bro, Boston took you out of there, P.Kidd.
Oh man, that's wild, bro. That's wild.
I was gonna say what messed the Bulls up on a West Coast trip is what Kendrick Lamar said. Women, weed, and weather.
Could be. Absolutely could be a thing. But tough loss for the Bulls, taking a 115, 124, 128 L to the Sacramento Kings, bringing us to 4-5. Let us know in the comments how you guys feel.
What's the word?
Let me see. What we got? You might have been at home and not Sacramento, but I know we had a 17-point lead on you guys. That was in Chicago. Because they called a bad call on Boogie Cousins.
Yeah.
For Dwayne Wade. It was a D Wade call.
I don't remember a lot of that.
It was a D Wade call.
I just remember.
I'm not saying
a lot of team meetings and a lot of young versus old head.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we never went on these West Coast trips, but it's usually some tough L's on these West Coast trips. Like you go out there and you're like, we should have beat them, and it's like, well, you didn't. Right. Ches Queen says, I feel like we need better bigs. What do you think about that?
Better bigs, like what? What do you mean better? More defensive, offensive, what?
I would say probably defensive.
We need defensive.
I would say probably defensive. Because, I mean, listen, Wendell.
Or better all around. I need specifics. Because the big man is different.
I would say better defensive. I think you need better defensive big man for sure.
And he's back.
We got Kidd back in the chat. I think you absolutely need some better defensive big men. Because to me, you can't be giving up games like that. We got P.Kidd back in the live. What's good, my boy? They said Boston had you so shook, man. Said Boston had you shook. You had to get up out of here.
Man, listen, have to drop that bomb and leave, huh? Nah, man, I think we match up well.
Versus who?
Boston. I think we match up well against Boston.
I think that you know what's wild. I think there's more teams than not that we do match up well against. I don't think we won enough with this team yet to know how to win. If that makes any sense, you know what I'm saying? Like,
can I ask a question real quick?
Go ahead.
So, do we have? Because P.Kidd just said that, I'm thinking we're an Eastern Conference built team with a Western Conference coach. Does that make sense?
It's the facts, though.
You know what I'm saying? Right. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not. Like, I think the way we're constructed, we match up well against anybody in the Eastern Conference. Just because we're forward heavy, and then we have shooters at the in our backcourt, as well as we're supposed to be gritty defensively. East Coast, Eastern Conference team is supposed to be gritty defensively. That's what we're missing. But West Coast team is more finesse, and it's going to give you the three ball. So I think we have a good mix of both.
It's an interesting thing. I think the reason I say we match up so well was just Boston in particular is because they don't have a dynamic guard.
Yeah.
Nah.
Right? And so you really just say what?
I said especially with Kemba out.
Exactly. So who was on my fantasy league, by the way? But anyway.
Darkness, my old friend.
What's the word on him?
Still dead.
Still, yeah.
Is the back or knee?
He's practicing. It's the knee, I believe.
It's the knee. Okay.
He's practicing. We actually got a couple people supposed to come back this month that we got to worry about. For instance, Porzingis is supposed to be coming back, and ironically, we got them in 2 weeks. So we got Porzingis and Luka. Yeah, they're on the schedule.
We got them in like 3 days, though.
Dallas?
Let me see. Oh no, that's after the Boston game, right?
After the Boston game,
yeah,
right?
It's the 17th. Yeah.
So
I'm worried about Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart?
Nah.
I just like his game. I like his game a lot.
I do. He's
I like his game. I'm not worried about him though.
He's a hustle player. He works. He literally enforces or works it or wills their way out of.
Only thing I'm worried about is me getting pissed off because I don't think the Bulls got nobody on this team that's willing to fight. And Marcus Smart is going to be pushing Coby White around.
Anybody.
I just need somebody to slow down Jaylen Brown. You slow down Jaylen Brown, we got a good chance of winning that game. Because I think Zach and Jason Tatum it cancels each other out.
Could, depending on if he's on that night. If he's on that night, it absolutely could. It absolutely could cancel each other out for sure.
I see that being.
I think to me the biggest thing with the Bulls moving forward, like I said, compete, develop, get your wins here and there, but learn that there's so many things that we see on the court, just defensive miscues and stuff like that. If by the end of this season the Chicago Bulls are in a situation like we saw tonight, and Zach LaVine knows instinctively, let me go over here to the corner because that's where the 3-point shot could be coming from.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the season was successful. If your team understands Billy Donovan's system and is able to run, the season was successful. We're not winning the championship this year.
Hey,
this ain't no championship.
Don't you say that out loud.
Listen,
you gotta bleed red. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, and see Red Nation over here. I love it. I want my Bulls to win every single game, every night. And I'm gonna sit here and argue with them for why they should and could. And I'm gonna give you the keys to why they can win all of these games. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, you have to be realistic. This is not a championship roster.
You know,
half of these players
this play in tournament.
More than half of these players will not be on this team.
Dude, that's a big statement right there. You said more than half. Good Lord. I said fire a couple people. You said get rid of more than half the team. Bro, that's a whole nother discussion. Who the heck are you trying to get rid of? We got the usual suspects, but who else?
Listen, there's 15 players on the team. Who you keeping past Pat Will? Like, you got your starting lineup, and you're not even keeping one of those.
Hey, the way Otto playing, they might keep Laurie.
Well, I think Otto coming off of the bench is a very different player. I think you got to get him back on the bench. But to me, I'm just saying, like you look at this team, like this team is not ready for that, but they're ready to grow. They're ready. You're trying to instill a system that is going to develop your team for the next 10 years, not the next 2 years. So you got something working here. Like I said, when we watched The Last Dance during 2020 COVID quarantine, the thing that pissed me off most is not that you got rid of that you made the GOAT retire. It's not that you got rid of Scottie Pippen. It's that you got rid of Phil Jackson, because the next team that came in would have been some dogs with Phil Jackson.
Right.
You get your system, you build your system, and then you grow from there. That's what the Bulls need to do. And if they focus on that this season, man, I'll be ecstatic. I'll be ecstatic, because that means that not only did you learn something, but now we've identified what players need to be in this system, what players don't, and we can move on from there. AK is evaluating all season. And it's gonna be some people to get sickled up out this mug. I'm talking about he coming through with the
I honestly can see him just making one big change at the point guard position, because if you look at the talent that we have and we look at the coach that we have, Billy Donovan was definitely just took the Rockets to the wire with just Chris Paul and a bunch of maybes, right?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was putting in work all season, though.
I would take Zach over him any day. So he definitely had Chris Paul and a bunch of maybes, right? And when you look at it like that,
is still hooping. I don't know if I'm calling him a maybe.
He had one in a possible. Let's go. So
Chris Paul plus one, party of two. Chris Paul plus one.
With that being the case, I can really see this team evolving under Billy, and we keeping a good majority of it. We just need more veteran presence. I mean, we can't say people who've been there, done that, because we have no one on our team that's actually won anything.
Yeah.
But you get someone who's had, a deep playoff experience or championship experience, that can change a whole lot on this young core. And we have the coach who's dealt with that, who's taken some of the best in the league to the wire with inexperience. And in fact, the only reason they lost was because of inexperience. It showed in that last game what Billy had with OKC. And so that's really, ironically, that's what we dealt with today. Just bad play down the line. And he has all season to work through it. So I can tell you this. My opinion of this team has changed. I do still think that we're bottom of the conference if we do make the playoffs, but I think that we can make a decent run if they continue this upward trajectory. Because, I mean, realistically, we've seen this team evolve leaps and bounds game after game to this point.
So what veteran do you have in mind?
Man, it's hard to say, to be honest with you.
It depends on who's available.
Well, can you give me a position?
It has to be point guard.
I would say, in all honesty, bro, The one player I wanted, like everybody was screaming for Chris Paul. Everybody was saying, go get Chris Paul. I was saying, go get Rondo back.
I wanted Rondo.
I would have loved getting Rondo back. One, because Rondo just needs to be a coach.
Okay.
Facts.
Put Rondo on the coaching staff. I don't even want Rondo as a player. Put Rondo on the coaching staff. What Rondo did with the Bulls on the bench the year he was here was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And playoff Rondo was a problem again. Jonathan Washington with a question in the chat. Through 9 games, is this a top 8 seed?
This is an 8th seed team. This is an 8 or 9
it's
seed.
It's an 8 seed team. Yeah. And listen, you know what? You know why? Because listen, the Bulls might come out and win the next game and they'll be 5-5. And then they'll play the Clippers with Kawhi and they'll be 5-6. And then they'll play Boston because we match up well against them and we'll be 6-6.
Yeah.
This is a 500 team. Maybe a game or two here. Because listen, the other thing is too, this is the hard part. We getting punched in the face immediately.
Yeah.
Like the game tonight was a nice little. It was a little reprieve. If you get this W, you know you win 3 in a row. But this is the hard part of the schedule.
I will say too that you got to keep in mind that other teams throughout the course of the year are going to go through some changes. Like for instance, I thought Orlando was a better team than we were, just looking at how they were constructed and how their people were playing. What Markelle Fultz has done for the season.
Yeah.
So are they buyers? Like who are they? Who steps? Are they looking to get in trade market, or are they just going to next man up it?
I don't know what their plans are because no one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what their plans are, to be honest with you. They have some decent players over there, but Markelle Fultz coming alive is really giving them a spark. Aaron Gordon is actually playing a lot better over there too, but you know that they're going to miss that 15 points right there. They really are, and they're going to miss what he broke down.
Anybody you want?
I don't say that again.
I said, what
if they become sellers? Like, who is there? Anybody from their roster that you would want to go ask about, inquire about?
Listen, send me Vucevic.
That's about it.
Send me Vucevic because you got better Aaron Gordon on your team already. But send me Vucevic.
Okay. Hey,
that's the only player I really want. But I don't think the Bulls are buyers.
No.
I don't think you're in that position. And listen, I think you have a developmental year happening here on a lot of different fronts. I'm waiting to see when Devon Dotson gets trusted enough to get onto the court, because I mean you literally got 4 guys who can't play, and he's not getting on the court. So clearly he's not understanding some things in practice. He's not at that level yet to get into the game, because if he was, I fully believe Billy would put him in. Billy's all about the development, but he's not going to put you in a situation to fail either.
I know everyone. I know everyone's been talking about this, and ironically, they just so happen to be the only team I can see actually looking to unload some people.
Yeah,
Detroit could be in a position where they unload some people. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not screaming. I'm not hopping on that zero. But I will say this: he ain't been playing bad. He has been there. It could be a big help and a nice little spark. Yeah. And I could see us putting together a package to take Blake Griffin off their hands if that's possible. Now I don't know what the cap looks like and all that stuff, but guess what? Compared to Wendell Carter and stuff like that, I would have Blake on this team. I think he can do some damage. But I kind of like it.
The thing is, you gonna move Lowry to the 5 then?
Nah, I'm gonna play Gafford at the 5 because Gafford's even taller than Wendell Carter.
So where you moving? So
Blake got a shot now.
No, Gafford's shorter than Wendell Carter.
No, Gafford is an inch taller. Gafford is 6'11". Wendell was 6'10".
Blake got a shot now. He don't need
Blake got a shot. Blake got a shot, but where you gonna play Blake at the 4?
I'm gonna play Blake at the 4.
So you're not keeping Lowry?
I don't have to keep Lowry if I get Blake Griffin. I get somebody who can help me a little bit. Lowry is not a great defensive player, bro. Either way, he get moved. I might as well get somebody.
Hey, listen, I've watched Blake Griffin whole career. He's not goddamn Patrick Ewing down there. That was a poor example. Pat Ewing was. He's not David Robinson down in the paint.
What the heck is he talking about?
He's not David Robinson down there in the paint either. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he's not. And listen, I'm not saying that this is the best thing, but I can sit there and say that you want some veterans to kind of mix and gel with some of your hard nosed
31 for Blake.
Hard nosed rooks.
I can see that happening. I can see them making a deal with Detroit for those two. I can really see it. That's the only team I can see that would be in the market.
You know why I can't see it? Just because it's not how AK is operated.
Facts.
I'd be surprised by it. It's not how AK is operated. I see this Bulls team waiting it out, developing the guys they got. Next year, this dude Marko Simonovic comes over, which I'm gonna start watching some of his tape as well, checking on him because I hear he been hooping over there, and all of a sudden he gonna get over here, and we're gonna be like, "Where'd you find this dude?" And they just gonna, hey, he hoops, he plays ball, and then like he's gonna be really good.
So he coming in ready? Oh,
he probably is coming in pretty ready.
Again, whose spot is he taking? I think I've asked you this.
He's taking Lowry.
Yeah,
he's taking Lowry. I don't think they bringing back Lowry.
Hey, those are my three though. I think you got your Ron. I said Rondo, the hopeful D Rose situation, or Mike Conley.
Mike Conley with this team would be
Mike
nice.
Conley. Oh, I'm not at that point.
Mike Conley with this team would be nice because you can move it. Once again, you shift everybody a spot.
You just move everybody over.
You
Kobe
shift
goes to
everybody
the 2.
one spot.
Zach goes to the 3.
That's not bad.
Take that.
And who you give up for him? You can't take Lowry. You can't take. Hey, who else you want? I got somebody else for you. We'll make up somebody. You take these persons. I was about to say something. You take him too. Guess what? I can see us doing it. Mike Conley would be great on that team.
Who need Lowry? That's all I'm looking at.
Everybody.
Who need Lowry?
I don't know who.
Young
Mike
forward shoot.
Mike Conley is 33, by the way, for those in the chat. He ain't that old.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
I think Mike Conley got in a bad situation over in Utah. That man went to a situation where
Donovan Mitchell came out.
Donovan Mitchell ain't passing that thing. But we appreciate y'all for joining the live tonight, man. Real talk. Bulls take an L. Hate to see it, but we're going to bounce back. We'll be back on here Friday. Y'all going to see a lot of us Friday. Me and Kidd trying to get the podcast in, and we're trying to get a live in that night for that Lakers game so we can call that thing live.
Got to get some healthy options. I'm on a diet.
Talk about food?
No, we getting the chicken with cheese.
Yeah, I just went to see your face. I
was confused, bro. I'm half asleep out here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to the live. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports weekly, and we don't want you to miss a thing. So make sure that you hit that bell. Shout out to AB for joining.
What side is it on? Where's the bell at? It's over there. It's one of those.
Right. It is your boy, Pastor Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.